Mike's Daily Podcast.
In a restaurant, called Cafe Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
How's it going? It's been a long time because I've been really busy. I say that all the time, but this is something I'm not Thin Lizzy. I am not Scottish. That was this guy. He's saying, boys are back in town, and I could cry because he died. But this is Mike Matthews, and I had a very stressful week.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
So much so, I seriously considered never doing this podcast again. Considered other things,
Mike's
including
Daily
maybe aforementioned
Podcast.
Changes in my life, type things. But I think we're gonna be okay. And I learned a lot this week. First off, I just want to say it was my lovely lady friend and I's anniversary. 3 years together. Yes. Ding, ding, ding. Good job, Mike. Yes. Very happy about that. Things to be happy about in my life. And you have listened to this podcast for a while. You knew 3 years ago how messed up and sad and lonely my life was. But I had the wonderful Basil the Boxer to keep me company and lots of great friends. But the lovely lady friend, I was yet to meet. And I met her on a tax day. Yes. We met April 5th is when we met. But we became an item this past week as of April 28th, 3 years ago. So what I would like to tell you about the romantic evening that we had 3 years ago, it involved Thai food and a very bizarre movie we watched about a guy who was supposed to be Hitler, had been transformed somehow from World War II to modern times. And it was interesting because the actor that played him, it was all in German, by the way.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And they actually shot parts of the film in public, very improvisational style, basically to see what a modern day crowd would say if they saw someone dressed as Hitler. And people were throwing stuff at him, punching him. It's a very bizarre movie. It's all in German, and German is not the easiest language to follow, and I've got German relatives. That's right, Basil. So Basil was there watching this movie with us 3 years ago. The late, great Basil the Boxer. And he is the reason why my lovely lady friend and I met, because I was walking him, and I was walking past her, and she was with a friend of hers, and the two of them they were, oh, what a great dog. And that's how we started talking. And years after my divorce, people were telling me, oh, you'll meet someone one day walking Basil. And they were right, because I did. Okay. This was a stressful week and I'm going to tell you why. Imagine if you spent 3 years trying to build something. Isn't that interesting, by the way? It was the 3-year anniversary. And then the next day, on Thursday, suddenly 3 years of work vanished at my work. 3 years of work. Imagine that. You were spending, let's say, a project, you were building something, and it was taking you 3 years, and suddenly whatever that was you were building was destroyed. Blown apart. Napoleon Bonaparte just destroyed. Gone. Imagine that. And then imagine that you are trying to keep operating as if everything that you had in place, you had instilled in place for the past 3 years, was still there. But it wasn't, because it just been destroyed. So you're basically, stop laughing, people in the background. Don't laugh at me here at Cafe Anyway about this. I'm basically I'm scrambling to build this, I'll say it's a radio station, because I work in radio, and basically the entire database for this radio station was destroyed. And you can do the blame game, you can blame all kinds of people involved, and make up little scapegoats and try and blame them. to make you feel better, but in the end, you're stressed out because you're trying to. First off, you're like, oh my gosh, all that work is gone. So you feel grief, you feel loss. And in some ways, it reminded me in a strange way of when Basil passed away about 8 months ago now. It was June of last year, which was odd because everything that was on the hard drive disappeared, went all the way back to June of 2018. So I don't know what the significance is with the month of June. Basically, the hard drive went all the way back to 2018. So everything I had done from now till back then erased. So Basil the boxer, when he passed away, I felt this loss, obviously, and also a sense of, well, I've spent all this time with this dog and I worked so hard when he got sick to make him feel better, to make him have a good life. All the work that I did was suddenly gone. And you feel that loss because your body, your mind is still saying, I've got to work. I've got to keep going. And then suddenly the steps you were standing on completely gone. The staircase completely gone. You're in midair like Wile E. Coyote, and now you're falling down to the bottom of the canyon somewhere. Poof. So that's what I was feeling. I was feeling that. I was feeling really tired because I had to fill in for someone at 5 a.m. at the radio station. I used to do that, by the way, when you listen to this podcast from 2015 to around 2018. I was doing the podcast early in the morning before there were some live shows that I helped produce, and I would do a quick little podcast for you. And you can go back to listen to those at mikesdailypodcast.com. But yeah, but I'm not used to doing that anymore. So I had to get up really early. And then the rest of Wednesday was shot. Oh, and it was also my anniversary, so I'm celebrating that. And then Thursday morning, the bomb hit. And suddenly this loss and all that work and the stress. Oh my gosh, the stress. And then I'm trying to get things done, and there are some people at work that were not helping. They were doing a lot of gaslighting, a lot of just doing stuff for their own sake and not helping me. There was a lot of suddenly I created a team, and there were people that helped me. And the only reason why I'm podcasting today is because a lot of people yesterday and a lot of people today, as we go outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley today, a lot of people started to help me. And a lot of people were offering their help. And that's what I need. That's what you need in a situation like that, is for people to come out and to help you. So when you help someone out, oh my gosh, the amount, what a gift you are giving. How you are raising someone out of the depths when you do that. They may not show it to you, like, oh, thanks or whatever. No, but you are, and you're a hero, and thank you for those of you who help other people out. Okay, so let's say you're in a stressful situation. You know what the heart.org says is, be honest. We all talk to ourselves. Sometimes we talk out loud, but usually we do it in our heads. Self-talk can be positive. I can do this, everything will be okay, or negative. I'll never get better. I'm so stupid. Oh my gosh, 3 years are gone. Oh no. Oh, woe is me. Negative self-talk increases stress. Positive self-talk can help you calm down and control stress. So try shifting negative thoughts to positive ones. I can't do this. Don't say that. Say instead, I'll do the best I can. I've got this. That sounds so cliche, but that's, just try and say it. I'll do the best I can. I've got this. I got people can help me. I can handle this if I can take one step at a time. I know how to deal with this. I've done this before. I can reach out and help and get help if I need it. And if you've made a mistake, say, I'm human. We all make mistakes. I can fix it. You can. To really make it work, practice positive self-talk every day. In the car, at your desk, before you go to bed, whenever you notice negative thoughts. It's a great practice to teach kids too. And I had a lot of negative thoughts hit me. It still does early in the morning. If for some reason, like 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, I get the negative thoughts, and it's very difficult to turn it off. But to try to change it around to positive thoughts, easier said than done, but it's what you have to try to do. Count to 10 before you speak or react. Emergency stress stoppers are actions to help you diffuse stress in the moment. Take a few slow, deep breaths until you feel your body unclench a bit. Go for a walk, even if it's just to the restroom and back. It can help break the tension and give you a chance to think things through. Somebody yelled at me at work when all this was going down, and that did not help the stress situation. That was the opposite of all this stuff I'm talking about. Try a quick meditation or prayer to get some perspective. If it's not urgent, sleep on it and respond tomorrow. That problem I found was I couldn't sleep. I was too stressed out. And the fact that the day before all this happened, I hadn't gotten any good sleep because I'd slept like 4 hours and had to work at 5 and tried to take a nap and couldn't because everyone's trying to call me on different things. But respond tomorrow. It especially works well for stressful emails and social media trolls. Respond tomorrow. Wait on it. Walk away from the situation for a while. Handle it later once things have calmed down. I actually was working from home yesterday, and I found that helped a lot because I was trying to fix the situation outside of the chaos and the crazy. Break down big problems into smaller parts. Take one step at a time instead of trying to tackle everything at once. Take a break to pet the dog, hug a loved one, or do something to help someone else. When you help someone else, it helps you. And there are stress-busting activities, too, like make art, work on a scrapbook. Yours truly has, I don't think I've ever done a scrapbook. I did a photo book back when we had pictures that it wasn't digital. But, yeah. Meet a friend for coffee or a meal. Play a favorite sport. Play with your kids or pets, outdoors if possible. Take a walk in nature. Sit outside in nature like now. Work in the garden or do a home improvement project. I don't know about that. Home improvement projects stress me out even more. That probably wouldn't help. But the key is to find your groove and make it a practice. So you must work on that. Those are some helpful tips from yours truly. Hey, I just found out that the person you hear that says, here's today's podcast picture, which, by the way, the podcast picture today was taken about a week ago in the beautiful moonlight. I think they called it the pink moon about a week ago. And there was a deer standing there up on a hill in the moonlight in Podcastro Valley. And you can see that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com. But the person that says that and does the little thing at the end, giving you the website address again, Ariel is pregnant. And she and her husband are going to be having a baby shower soon. I was invited. It's going to be on a Saturday, which is really, 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 really tough for me. Very tough, and tough for my lovely lady friend, because she is a therapist and a lot of her patients meet with her on Sundays. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to that. It's looking like I won't be able to. But at any rate, there you go. Way to go, Ariel. Okay. You'll be a great mom. You and your husband are great people. You'll be great parents. Speaking of moms, Mother's Day is coming up a week from tomorrow. And by the way, you can listen to me tomorrow and the following Sunday, all Sundays, for the foreseeable future, from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Pacific time on the radio, playing music. In fact, the station I'm working for is going to be changing formats slightly, and that it's going to be playing a little bit more classic stuff. So there'll be more about that next weekend. But you can find the link at mikesdailypodcast.com to listen to that show that happens on Sundays. We're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valleyton. Look who is here. By the way, Basil the Boxer was the podcast picture, last podcast picture, a picture from 10 years ago. We miss him so much. And just, never forget your pet friends, which, by the way, I think May 9th through, or actually Wednesday next week through Mother's Day next week is going to be a special pet adoption group of days where there'll be special discounts when you adopt a pet. The pet adoption fees are supposed to be lowered quite a bit, so that's good news. Look who's here.
Hello, my commercial. It's Madame Rootabega, and I am so sorry about all your stress.
Oh, yeah. Lots of stress. Do you ever get stressed?
Yes.
Do you like to combat stress by counting to 3 and taking deep breaths?
Yes.
Do you combat stress by punching me in the face?
No.
Good. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, I really hate it when you're in a stressed out situation and somebody doesn't help and all they do is throw gasoline on the fire there by making it more stressful.
Yeah, stressful idiot people. Do you know that?
That's right. If you are not helping a situation, if you are making the stress level in a stressful situation worse, you need to shut it down, buddy. Or ma'am. Shut it down. Shut it off. Get out of the way. You're not helping. I don't understand people like that. They're so inconsiderate. They're just in their own little zone. It's sad, really. Very sad. Next podcast. This is what I was going to say. Next podcast. It's going to be Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere, the engineer. Thank you for listening. I wish you well in whatever stressful situation you have. It's going to get better. Things will be fine. Thank you for listening. If you want to chime in about anything that we covered today, 336MM Daily. That's 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast will try to be, hopefully, as things calm down more in my life. And that was episode 2238. 2238. Thanks for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.